Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Allen. I am the most recognized face on Google Hangouts. You probably seen me more on Alex's Hangouts than you've seen Alex. And I'm here today to make a change in your future. I'm going to tell you right now, if you have an assistant that helps you with your business, I want you to get him in front of this Hangout. If you have a partner that helps you with your business, I want you to get him in front of this Hangout, because what we're going to show you today is going to change the future of your business. Now, what I like to do whenever I start a Hangout, this is my own style. I'm going to read a little short poem, and then I'll tell you what it means in terms of what we're doing. Darkness at the break of noon, shadows even a silver spoon, the handmade blade, the child's balloon, eclipses both the sun and moon. To understand you know too soon, there is no sense in trying. Pointed threats they bluff with scorn, suicide remarks are torn from the fool's gold mouthpiece. The hollowed horn plays wasted words, proves to warn that he not busy being born is busy dying. And today, that's what this Hangout is all about, you being born, because we're going to change your marketing from this day forward. Now, most of you know who I am. I'm going to tell you this, that I do things a little different than Alex. Number one, Alex is actually in Atlanta doing this same presentation at NAMM. So we're both doing the same thing. We're really coordinated, so you're really in for a treat. I am going to actually not keep cards. I have a PowerPoint for you guys, so just take notes. You definitely need notes. Pay really close attention. If I have time, I will recognize people that are in the Hangout. By all means, tell us where you're hanging out from. I'm going to really get started because I have so much to cover. If I have extra time, I will give you recognition, but you will forgive me because what I'm going to share with you is so intense that we don't want to take up any time. So let's get started. Now, I know that most of you people know me. You've seen my face, but I've seen your face also, and what we're looking at right now is a mirror. This is a mirror of you when you get your stats back from your latest email. You know what you look like, and so do I. Now, what we're going to do is today, we're going to actually talk about the urgent problem with email marketing. And remember, email marketing is no longer the future. It had a great run for about 15 years, but unfortunately, it's not its own future, and it's certainly not your future. Let's talk a little bit about noise, because ultimately, when it comes down to it, email is full of noise, and it's almost impossible to get above that noise. People's inboxes are overwhelmed with the noise of other emails. And the reason we keep using it is because it's been established as the norm. And unfortunately, even though people try to justify for themselves why they keep using it, sorry, my slides keep bouncing here for some reason, there we go. Ultimately, what it means is that if you're getting 11% open rates now, realize that means that 89% of the people do not see what you're sending them. And even worse than that, the average click-through rate is about 2.8%. Now, just realize this, because this is somewhat important. There is going to come a time within the next number of months where you're going to sit down with your staff, with the people in your business, and you're going to reminisce. Remember the days of open rates of 11%? Remember the days of click-through rates of 2.8%? Those days are gone forever. And here's why. Everything I'm going to tell you, I'm going to back up. Number one, if you remember about 6 months ago, Google decided to add tabs to the inbox of people who use Gmail. Well, that means if you're a marketer and you're sending things out, you have this little filter at the bottom of your email that simply says, click here to unsubscribe. And that filter is what Google reads to put you in a promotional tab rather than the inbox. And when you look at open rates, because of what Google did, the interesting part of this is that not only did open rates drop for Gmail, but they dropped for Yahoo, AOL, and MSN, and you could put all those together. For some reason, they went up for Hotmail. I have no idea. I'm not even sure why people use Hotmail. Second thing, click-through rates. When Google put the tabs in their inbox, they lowered click-through rates, not just for Gmail, but everyone across the board. So that's a huge problem, and that's just really the tip of the iceberg. Now, this is, if you haven't gotten this message from Google, don't worry, you will. Our system has detected an unusual rate of unsolicited mail originating from your IP address, and that could be the IP address of the company you're using to send out your bulk emails. To protect their users from spam, they're literally putting a governor on the number of emails that they will allow from your IP address to get into the inbox. Starting to see why you'll be reminiscing about 11% open rates? How about the new spam law in Canada? That one not only requires a double opt-in, but it also requires that you hold the proof so that if anyone ever questions whether you're sending out spam or not, you have to document that not only that you have the double opt-in, but you have to show them that document. And here's the real problem with that. Marketing emails, you, me, and everyone on this call, they are responsible for 70% of the "this is spam" complaints. And this isn't by someone you're emailing for the first time. This is somebody who opted in to get your stuff. You're sending them the best content you have, and they decide one day for no reason that you're spam. They opted in, but you're spam. And 70% of all complaints are from marketing emails. Chances are you're going to be called to the carpet for you to be able to document that you're not sending spam. Next thing, 91% of all email users have unsubscribed from an email they previously opted into. You know what that means? That means you have a leaky bucket list. You know the phrase, the money's in the list? Well, maybe the money used to be in the list, but that list now, one, you have a problem reaching that list, you have a problem getting them to engage when you send something to that list, and your list is dwindling down, and you have to just play catch-up all the time because 91% of people are looking to get out of your email list all the time. Now, so you say to yourself, okay, well, email, no big deal. Let me use my online marketing because that'll compensate because I'm on top of online marketing. Well, guess what? We're in an attention economy, and it's not growing. What does that mean? We have to grab the attention that someone else has. In other words, there's only a limited amount of attention, and the only way we're going to get that attention is steal it from someone else. And the only way they're going to get that attention is steal it from us. And guess who our competition is now? Not just the other marketer that's trying to reach the same people we are, but now on the internet, due to things, social media, Facebook, there are people are fans of Oprah. People are fans of Starbucks. So now, not only are they looking to get, not only are you looking for them to get your stuff in their news feed, but they're also getting stuff from everybody else they're a fan of. That means that the inbox in the news feed in Facebook is overwhelmed. Twitter, it's like machine gun fire. It's like you have an AK-47. If they don't happen to be at the exact point in time when you're pushing out your Facebook post or you're pushing out your Twitter post, then they're never going to see your stuff. And how about YouTube? Do we all send videos? Of course we all send videos. And we try to engage people because they want videos. Well, guess who your competition is in the YouTube space? You have Justin Bieber. This video of his, I don't even know what it is. It's Baby featuring Ludacris. The whole thing's ludicrous, if you ask me. He had 1 billion views. Jennifer Lopez is on the floor, and yet she had 767 million views. You getting the point? The point is right now that ultimately you can't get to your audience whether you're using it as through email or you're using the internet. That doesn't mean that there aren't some people you reach, but let's face it, look at Facebook. It's now easier for people that are on Facebook to tune out your content. Facebook allows them to shut you down from being a business and a brand. They can literally never get any of your messages ever again. And they hide a significant portion of your updates to your fans. They have to do that. When you have 1 billion people posting in the same news feed, how could they let all those messages go? So they filter those out. And the average page now only reaches 7% of its fans. That's worse than email. And that is, and even if you boost those posts, which I do, If you're lucky that you can get 12 or 15%, it's really a miracle. So your whole premise that you could use email, and if that's not doing it, I'll do online marketing, leaves you only a couple of choices. And this is what most of you are doing right now. You send out an email, let's try this subject line, let's pray this subject line works. I read your emails and I know these emails are, I read Alex's emails and I know ultimately what happens is you try things and you're praying that they work for you. I am what's called a brain-based marketer. A lot of you don't know what that is. A brain-based marketer is somebody who measures brain activity when you stimulate that brain in marketing. And I can tell you right now that you, with email, you are no longer stimulating people's brains. You literally are just not getting there. So let's talk about trends. Why? Because there is a trend happening now that you need to know about. I wasn't kidding when I said you need to get your partners, you need to get your assistants. If you haven't done that already, get those people on this call right now, because what you're going to see right now is going to change, because those that are not being busy being born are busy dying. And if you want your business to go forward and really have an impact, you need to be getting busy being born, and this is going to be a rebirth for you. Let's take a look at trends. And it doesn't matter if you're a big company or you're a little company. Kodachrome, Kodak, we've all heard of Kodak. What happened to them? They said, nobody's going to want to show photographs on their computer. We don't need to go digital. People like to get their photos printed and sit down. Well, what happened to Kodak? How about Sony Walkman? Sony Walkman, they didn't even see what the trend was, and Steve Jobs and Apple ate their lunch. You ever see Sony Walkman doesn't even own the television market anymore. How insane is that? How about Blockbuster? There's a Blockbuster on every single corner of the marketplace. What happened to Blockbuster? They did not see the trend, and Netflix came and walked all over them. You don't even see video stores anymore. How about the Yellow Pages? Remember the Yellow Pages? When I started practicing 30 years ago, there was no internet. Everyone used the Yellow Page. Now, no one lets their fingers do the walking. Now it's all Google search, and now it's even voice search, not even typing search. How about bookstores? Remember bookstores? They used to be all over the place, and then that trend died really quickly and was replaced by the Kindle. You know, everyone I know reads on their Kindle. Everyone I know even has more than one Kindle. Books are a thing of the past. How about newspapers? You want to see what the subscription rates of newspapers are like? Most people now are using tablets to read newspapers. That's really where it's at. How about, well, the U.S. Post Office? For those people in the U.S., I got news for you. They couldn't make money before there was email. Now they're about $25 billion in the hole. But they truly missed the trend on where it was going. How about websites? People build websites. You get about 3 seconds to engage people on your website, because they don't want to be on your website. Where do they want to be? They want to be on Facebook. And when they're on Facebook, you can't even reach them. So all of a sudden there's this battle, email, social media. And if you go back and remember when Facebook opened up email boxes, everyone said, well, that's going to save email, because now everyone on Facebook is going to open my email. But what Facebook did was they made the problem even worse. Now you had your inbox being jammed up with all sorts of garbage, and your Facebook inbox hitting you all over. So now people ignore both of them. And the trend now is not email. That is not the future. Email had a good 15-year run, but it is dead, and we got to let it die in peace and bury it. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't still use it, because you have to, but ultimately there's a new game in town that's a new trend. And what that trend is apps. And as you can see here, we're talking tablets, we're talking iPhones, we're talking desktop apps, because a gentleman that we all know really well by the name of Steve Jobs, he created another norm. Now here's the beauty of this. Realize that everyone uses the norm because it's the norm. Even when it's not working, they still use it because it's the norm. They've been used to using it. But going on for the last number of years, Steve Jobs has slowly settled into people's brains that using applications is as normal as using email. And the problem for most of you is that you don't even use the norm, the second norm, the norm that Steve Jobs has created for you, the norm that has dominated over email. Steve said, we made the buttons on this screen look so good you will want to lick them. Let me ask you this question. Do you want people to lick your icons? You better believe you do. And if you have an icon on their devices, on their mobile devices, their desktop, they're going to be licking those every single day. I'm going to tell you why. 25 billion downloads of apps. Tracking now at 1 billion downloads a month of apps. Now check this out. The average person has 41 apps. That's 28% increase from last year. The average person spends 39 minutes a day using their app. They think of them as more convenient and faster and easier to use. They are preferred because they're easy to access a product, store information, and your content if you know how to deliver it. They associate apps with being more productive. They want proactive and relevant information and services, but they want it in an easy way. And apps push out personalized content, office perks, and what you want to deliver to them. So ultimately what that means is that if you have an app, get ready for this, this is the big one, you own real estate on their devices. Literally own the real estate on their devices. That means if you have an app that they have on their iPhone or their iPad or their desktop, and they have that phone locked down, guess what happens when you start a live hangout just like this one? And a lot of people are watching this hangout on their devices. What happens is they get a message that there's a very important message. When they click on it, they are watching your live hangout. Literally, you own the real estate right on the front of their devices, including their desktop. The money is no longer in the list, folks. The money's in the real estate, because when you own real estate on mobile devices, when you own real estate on their desktop, you have a delivery rate of, an open rate of 97%. Now, that's really not true. You really have 100%. But Alex doesn't like me saying 100% because he says it's too unbelievable. But you literally have 100% open rate because it can't be stopped. But here's the kicker. Are you ready for this? You know you don't track open rates when you have apps. You track close rates. How's that for a novelty? We no longer track open rates because they always open. We track the close rates because people obviously have to go ahead, and after they experience your content, they will close that app. Now, here's what you could send in an app on the real estate that you own that you can't send in an email. If you send audio inside of an email, guess what? It takes, if they open your email, they got to click on a link. That link takes them somewhere else to listen. With an app, the audio's built right into it. When that baby pops open, they just hit the play button and they are listening. Video content. All your videos automatically are delivered to the real estate that you own. They don't have to click on a link in your email. Hopefully they get a picture that it's a video, but 79% don't. Now they have to go to a website. When they get to that website, they have to go ahead. You ask them for their opt-in. If they opt in, terrific. Then they play the video. When they download your app, guess what? They've already opted in. Automatically, they've given you permission. Live streaming. This Hangout is streaming live on people's mobile phones, on their tablets, on their desktops. They're not watching it like you are. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about a contest we're having by the end of this. You want to send them an invitation to go somewhere, you can do it. You have a blog, it'll go right into their app. It has its own email program. It literally, they click on the little icon for it with a telephone number. It will dial your phone number. That's how you're now literally married to these people and they're married to you. But here's the thing you need to know. And this is really where it becomes really interesting. Not only do we own real estate, but what we can deliver in the app, as I was saying, is really important. Because when you look at the research, here's what the research says. And this is going to document what I was saying about why your internet marketing is not nearly as powerful as you think it is. When this study was done, and this is done this year, looking at 2013, this survey by Enterprise Web Communications Survey, fourth quarter, they found that most businesses like to look at live online video, 59%. Now, I want to contrast that with the 22% of business executives that are receiving tweets. You see, Twitter's not a business executive platform. How about videos posted to YouTube? Executives, that's not a business platform, 24%. Have posted tweets for distribution. You could see these numbers. But live online video is golden, 59%. Now that's amazing because can you deliver video, live online video in your email? No freaking way, because email doesn't play video. Can you deliver an app every day of the week and twice on Sunday? Now take a look at this. Live online video is quickly gaining traction in the workplace. Forward-thinking businesses have been leading the movement, unlocking the heightened engagement that only live video can provide. Enterprise use of live video is expected to double in 2016, building brand awareness, evangelize internal communications, and expose marketing events and more. How would you like to know that instead of inviting people to your hangout, like we did with most of you, we brought the hangout to those people? You want to get somebody to watch a video of yours? Why not bring it to them? You already own their real estate. You want to send out your blog? Why not bring it to them? You already own the real estate. The money is in the real estate. I like to consider myself a real estate mogul because I own real estate on thousands of devices. Now, in 2014, the cumulative total of hours of live online business video viewership is expected to grow 23% over 2013 levels. And by the final year of 2017, year-over-year growth in viewership tops 30%. Now, I got so much stuff here, you'll forgive me for not recognizing that you're on the Hangout. I recognize you're on the Hangout, but I also recognize the power of what I'm presenting to you, and you need to know this stuff. How about this one? This is taking a look at comparing the number of businesses that used live online video from 2010 to 2013. Take a look at the numbers. 22% watched 25% more live online video in 2013. 11% watched 25% and 100% more online video in 2013, and now we're 2014. 10% watched more than double the live online video they did in 2010, and we have a slight amount of decrease in 2010. Those probably people aren't even online anymore. Okay, now here's something. Write this down. Pay close attention. Looking at this, this tells us how they're digesting their online video viewership. The blue boxes, the blue columns, are desktop. What is that telling you? It's telling you, as much as it's been said that desktop computers are dead, most online video viewership is done on desktop computers. And if we look at 2017, which is all the way on the right side of your screen, it continues to grow. Yes, mobile grows a little faster rate, but by 2017, the estimate is that more people will watch video on a desktop than they will on a smartphone and tablet. Now, what is that really telling you? Here's the key, okay? This I'm going to skip because it just talks about why desktop is so important. Now, here's what I want you to realize. I'm going to go back a slide here. Okay, let's go to this slide. Now, here's what I want you to realize. What the statistics are telling you, write this down, is if you have an app and that app is only an iPhone app or a smartphone app, you're missing 2/3 of your audience. If you have a tablet and not a phone, you're missing 2/3 of your audience. If you have a desktop and not a tablet and a smartphone, you're missing 2/3 of your audience. Excuse me. So you can't just have an app. You need to have 3 apps. You need a desktop app, you need a tablet app, and you need a smartphone app. All 3, because when you have all 3, you own real estate on their desktop, you own real estate on their tablet, and real estate on the smartphone. Now, let me keep going. Now, Facebook. I don't know if you guys watch the stock market. I happen to write a stock market newsletter that gets circulated around the country that people subscribe to. And if we looked at Facebook's earnings in the past quarter, 59% of their ad revenue came from mobile. Why would that be? Because people wanted to use mobile. That means that people prefer mobile. And if they prefer mobile, guess what you need? You need a mobile app. Simple enough. How about what Google says? You think Google is the big player in the game? You think the trends of we're talking about trends, the trends are, they know where the trends are going? Of course they know. They're controlling the trend. They're making the trend. We're on a Hangout because of Google. We use Google Plus because of Google. This is what Google says. I'm not saying this. This is Google. If you don't have a mobile app, you are throwing away a large chunk of your business, and things are only going to get worse. New York Times, mobile marketing is the most powerful media ever invented. And the amazing thing to me is this call has some of the top marketers in the world on, and you're not using mobile marketing. Alex is doing a presentation in Atlanta in front of 500 of some of the top marketers in the world, and when you ask them who here has their own app, you get like a handful of people that raise their hand. And if they have an app, they have one. And what happens when you have one? You're losing 2/3 of your audience. How many apps do you need? You need 3. You need a desktop app, you need a tablet app, and you need a phone app. Now, here's the problem. The key to getting your own app, including your iPhone, iPad, and desktop, is the cost. That's usually the problem, because it can cost $15,000 to build an iPad app. It can cost $5,000 to build an iPhone app. It can cost tens of thousands of dollars to build a desktop app. And Alex and I realized that. And believe it or not, one of the beauties of working with Alex as my partner is that Alex sees the trend. I'll even take it a step further. Alex becomes the trend. And what we saw 2 years ago was that email is dying. As a matter of fact, I think I have a podcast that Alex did with Paul Culligan where they talked about the death of email. It might have been 3 years ago. So we've been working behind the scenes, watching the trends and literally taking this trend of where things are going and getting prepared for what you're seeing right now. Okay, now, what did we learn when we were doing this? Well, we took a look at Henry Ford and we realized unless we build an assembly line to build apps for all the people that are going to need them, they're cost prohibitive. Nobody can really build 3 apps unless you're willing to come up with tens of thousands of dollars. And as I like to say, that's one large payment through the nose. And what happens is we went ahead and the first thing we did is we built an assembly line. We literally built an assembly line that we could now build thousands of apps in literally minutes. We could build app after app after app after app, and not one app. Our assembly line is designed to build desktop, iPhone, and tablet apps all at the same time. It's really a marvel of technology. We have really changed the game when it comes to this. Now, I always like to say that, you know, after you're hearing this presentation, you're going to tell everybody about the VIP app, and as Homer's writing as punishment, I need to punish you, and you need to be telling everyone you know about what you're learning here. Now, I'm going to bring myself back on the screen, if you don't mind, because I want to talk about a couple of things. Let me see if I could do that. Oh, I'm almost back. There I am. There you go. So literally, this is the takeaway here that I want you to get, and then I'm going to recognize some people, and then I'm going to send you somewhere on a link. I want you to realize this, that the future of email is really history. The only way to reach your audience, to reach your list, and it doesn't matter how big your list is literally to own real estate. You have to go into the real estate business, and the only way to do that is with applications. And we found through the research that there are 3 apps that you need: a desktop app, you need an iPhone app or a Samsung app, and you need tablet apps. And that's literally what we have. Now, we don't want you to just take our word for it. What we want you to do is we want you to download Alex's app. And I'm going to ask Justin, who's helping me, and Susie, who's helping me, and Sandra Bravo, who's helping me here, to put the link into the page that you can go to. This page will give you the ability. I don't know if I could bring up this page actually, but on this page you're going to see a sample of our app, the desktop app, and then you're going to see the ability to download that, and you're going to see how to download the mobile apps. And in fact, if you have a smartphone right now, if you have an iPhone or a tablet, if you go to the App Store, just look up Marketing Online, you're going to see the logo for Marketing Online. And let me see if I could actually get that this thing here and let you see this. I think I can, guys. So let me do this for you so I could show you this page. I'll bring my screen share back. Yep, here it is. And now I'm going to share it. Okay. And then I'm going to tell you about our great contest. So I think you can see this page. And on this page, this is the desktop app. When you have a desktop app, you literally own real estate. It's hidden inside the computer, and you control when that real estate pops up. If you are watching this on the desktop app, like many people are right now, there's about 1,000 people that I put it in their desktop app are literally watching this live right now. That play button, if you hit that play button, will play the live hangout live streaming video. And then you could download that by going to Get Adobe Air. If you don't have that on your computer, most people do, and then hitting this last little MOL. This is our icon for Marketing Online, and that will install the desktop app, which you absolutely want. Put it on your laptop, put it on your desktop. And it doesn't pop up unless there's great content that Alex is sending out to you, mostly the Hangouts. Here, you can go download the apps at the App Store, and once they're downloaded on your computer, when you plug in your iPhone or your iPad, it will automatically download that, and then it'll be on the phone and on the tablet. Or, as I said, with your iPhone, iPad, go to the App Store and type in Marketing Online. You will see this little icon, MOL. So let me bring myself back again, and there I am. Here I go. Okay. So now let's see. Now let me catch up here. I want to tell you about a contest that Alex and I are having. Here's the contest. You're going to go down and download all of Alex's apps, the iPhone app, the iPad app, from the page that I gave you or from the App Store and the desktop app. And then we're having a contest, and here's what the contest is. Here's how the contest started, which is really entertaining. When I was in San Diego a couple of weeks ago with Alex and Sandra and Sean, we were doing the Hangout membership, the membership intensive, and I was on stage doing a presentation. But before it was my turn, I was watching the Hangout live on my iPhone. And it was early in the morning, and I just had coffee. And of course, as you know, you have coffee. Sometimes you have to use the laboratory. And so I tell people, before I came up on stage, I was literally watching the live Hangout in the men's room. And of course, everyone got a big kick out of it. And then someone emailed us that they were on a road trip and they were driving 3 hours, and they were able to watch the Hangout that was done. I think it was last week's Hangout, and that Hangout was they watched it on their device in their car while they were on a road trip. So Alex and I decided, you know what? Here's a great fun idea. Let's get everybody when they download the app to have a great contest. And this contest is going to be worth $5,000 to somebody. And the cost of entry is literally this call to action. The call to action simply is download Alex's app, and then you're going to send us telling us what it is, where it is, the most unusual, the best, the funniest, the strangest place that you watched one of Alex's live Hangouts. Now, one of the things that I didn't show you, and I think I might be able to show you this, and then again I may not, but let me see if I could do this for you guys, because it will be, I think I already closed that window. Okay, so let me tell you what it is. Let me bring back this window because I want to show you this. Let me go back to my screen share, and I'm going to take you back to this page so I could show it to you. Okay, on the apps, on all the apps, the desktop apps, the iPhone apps, and the iPad apps, in the upper right-hand corner is a little telephone. If you click on that telephone, it'll literally, from your iPhone or your iPad, it's going to call up whoever number's in there. It could be Sandra. Sandra, get ready for 1,000 calls. I don't know whose phone number's in there, but anyway, Sandra Bravo's on here with it. And it also has a little email icon, and if you click on that email icon, it literally goes ahead and it opens up an email program already built into the app. And when it's built into the app, you just put in your name, your number, and in there you could say, here's the weirdest, strangest, funniest, best, whatever it is, place that I watched Alex's Hangout in. And we're going to take those and we're going to start week after week talking about, hey, we got, someone said they watched Alex's Hangout. from the top of a mountain. Someone watched Alex's Hangout, while they were, snorkeling. Whatever it is, it could be in the bathroom of an airplane. We don't care. But we're going to do that, and then eventually what we're going to do is we're going to choose who had the most unusual, the funniest, the best, the strangest. We don't know what it's going to be yet. But we're literally going to build 3 apps for you to use for your business, and we're going to pick up the expense entirely. So literally, we are going to give away 3 apps that you could have to use for your business. Now, the other thing, of course, is the beauty is you get to experience the power of the app. You get to see firsthand the power really of using an app and see what it means to really own real estate on someone else's devices. And remember, just by downloading it. Now, there's one more thing I want to show you, and some of you marketers are going to really love this. But do you see at the bottom of this app? This is the desktop version. It's exactly the same though on the iPad and the iPhone. It says take assessment, click here. Well, this app can be totally co-branded. As you see, it's branded for marketing online, and your apps will be branded for you. But take assessment, when you download the app, and if you download the app now, by the way, you could finish watching this live broadcast on those apps. But that allows us to take you wherever we want you to go. In this case, you want to click on that after you download your apps and take Alex's assessment. But that could also be co-branded, and you could literally sell space on your app. Talk about monetizing it. Let's say that you're in a niche. Let's say, I'll give you an example of a niche that I'm working with, and that is a niche player that is in the faith-based business. Faith-based business means that they pop up on the apps a message of people's relationship with their higher spirit, or if you call that God, whatever you call that. And what happens is they get a video every day to start out their day in a very, very positive light. And what they've done is they sold that little space on the bottom of their app, they sold that to a publisher of faith-based books. Now check this out. This year, well, a year from now, they anticipate, our projections are, they will have 2 million users that have their app. 2 million users. Now how about calling up a book company that sells faith-based books and saying to them, how would you like to reach 2 million people that are already in your demographic each day? What is that worth to you? Well, it's worth tens of thousands of dollars a month, as you could well imagine. And in addition to that, every time someone clicks and goes to that e-book store, they get a commission, a percentage, based on their affiliate link. So you literally could drive people where you want them to go, as well as sell space on your app and use that to generate money.